Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Thursday, December 9, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. This stretch marks the 5th time in Mitchell's career that he has scored 30 or more in 3 consecutive games. He also has dished out at least 5 assists in a career-high 8 straight contests. The Sixers went to Charlotte to play against the Hornets in 2 straight games, and they won by the skin of their teeth in both outings against a team that was incredibly shorthanded. Perhaps that says more about the Hornets than the Sixers, but it doesn't bode well against a Jazz team rolling with 5 consecutive wins. Utah began their 4-game road trip with a victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers on Sunday. They will be in action on Wednesday night against the Timberwolves before the quick turnaround to Philadelphia. Our first betting advice is to pick Utah Jazz -2.5. Rudy Gay can compete with Joel Embiid at the rim for not only rebounds, but he's a versatile enough defender to make it a tough offensive outing. There are times when Philly is too dependent on Embiid's offense to carry them in games. Every team needs their star player to step up, but the consistency has to be there outside of Embiid for games like this one. Just having him in the paint makes offensive playmakers think twice before attacking the rim. Of course, the Jazz have the sort of snipers that can just knock down shots all night long as well. This Jazz team is elite defensively, and quite frankly, I don't trust anyone else to step up on a night when Gay makes Embiid look human. That backcourt was dead silent in the first meeting between these two teams. Opposing teams are only averaging 31.4% shooting from long distance against Utah this season. And let's be honest, the Sixers aren't the defensive team they used to be, with teams shooting 35.5% from beyond the arc against them. But Embiid battling down low with Rudy Gay could potentially net the Sixers a few extra possessions. The hope is that Tobias Harris and Seth Curry show up to the party in shooting rhythm. The two only combined for 17 points in the first meeting between the two teams. Even with Embiid back on the floor, that sort of a shooting performance isn't going to cut it against a Jazz team that's 8-3 on the road. Our second betting advice is to pick under. Los Angeles Lakers vs Memphis Grizzlies. Westbrook staked the Lakers to a 19-point lead in the third by scoring 15 points in the quarter with a series of dominant drives. After a tough start with his hometown team, Westbrook is averaging 23.5 points, 8.9 assists, and 6.9 rebounds in the Lakers' last 8 games. As the Lakers continue to get healthy, they will make a push for the Western Conference crown. This is a tough spot for the Grizzlies to be in against a Lakers team coming off what some might consider their best overall team performance. They're starting to figure things out on the floor together, and they'll be running into a Grizzlies team, somehow making it work without their star guard, Ja Morant, in the lineup. It's the same Morant that terrorized the Lakers for 40 points in the last meeting between the two teams. The Memphis Grizzlies were expected to plummet in the standings after star Ja Morant suffered a left knee sprain almost 2 weeks ago. Memphis has won 5 straight without leading scorer Morant on the hands of elite production from their supporting cast. Dillon Brooks is averaging 17.3 points on 40.9% shooting for the Grizzlies, whose win streak includes an NBA record 73-point victory over the Oklahoma City Thunder last Thursday. Our first betting advice is to pick Los Angeles Lakers -3. Things started to unravel a bit offensively for the Grizzlies against the Dallas Mavericks on Wednesday night in a game where they only shot 40% from the floor and scored 96 points. Don't make the mistake in thinking the Lakers are a bad defensive team just because of what you see on the stat sheet. They are obviously a team pacing themselves with the playoffs in mind. Yes, the young bucks for the Grizzlies are coming to life when the team really needs it. Dillon Brooks, Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. are all averaging 15-plus points. But will it be enough to topple a LeBron James-led team with both Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis on the roster? Keep in mind, this Grizzlies team needed a 40-point performance from Morant to even keep the first game close. But the Lakers are notoriously bad for turning the ball over this season. The Grizzlies could shake things up if they can come away with takeaways and rack up buckets in fast break situations. I'm expecting this to be one of those nights following their win over the Boston Celtics. There's a lot of momentum built up after that performance, and they'll use it to pummel a Grizzlies team in the right place at the wrong time. A bullying effort will lead to a lopsided ending with the Lakers as the victor. Our second betting advice is to pick over 222.5. Quick reminder, BetUS is a platform that offers betting on all major sport and horse racing leagues. It has slots, table games, blackjack, and a variety of other casino games. All of the major US leagues are available for betting, including the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, and PGA. In addition, BetUS allows wagers on esports, Olympic events, soccer, cricket, boxing, cycling, and many more competitions. Join BetUS now using our link down below and get 125% cashback bonus on your first deposit on the sportsbook after you open an account and deposit using our link and use our promo code HIGHSTAKES. Denver Nuggets vs San Antonio Spurs. Denver's defense is third best in the NBA in points allowed at 104.1 per game. Opponents are shooting 48.4% overall against the Nuggets, but only 33.2% from behind the three-point line, which is 7th in the league. Denver allows an average of 44.1 rebounds per game, and the Nuggets are averaging slightly less at 42.9 rebounds per game. The king of the boards for Denver is Jokic with an average of 13.5 rebounds per contest. Davion Reed is the leader in steals for Denver, with an average of 1.5 per contest, and Aaron Gordon is the SWAT commander with an average of 0.7 blocks per contest. Both teams have their issues here, as the Spurs have lost 2 straight, with a pair of key contributors doubtful to take the floor here. Denver has lost 8 of their last 10 and have had to deal with their own share of injuries to key players in their rotation. Our first betting advice is to pick Denver Nuggets. For the year, the Spurs are 16th in the league in scoring offense, as they average 107.6 points per game on the year. San Antonio is 19th in rebounding by grabbing 44.6 boards a night, while they are second in the league in assists by handing out 27.7 dimes per contest. The Spurs are 20th in the league in scoring defense, as they give up an average of 108.3 points per game. Keldon Johnson is second on the team with 14.4 points per game on the year. Jacob Poeltl, 12.3 points, 9.3 rebounds. Dejounte Murray, 18.8 points, 8.4 rebounds, 8.4 assists. Lonnie Walker-IV, 9.9 points. Derek White-IV, 12.1 points, 5.2 assists. Devin Vassell, 11.6 points, and Doug McDermott, 11.3 points. All are solid options on the offensive end. Keita Bates-Diop, Drew Eubanks, Tre Jones, Thaddeus Young and Bryn Forbes are other rotation pieces for coach Greg Popovich. San Antonio is 8th in the league in field goal percentage, as they shoot 46.5% from the floor on the year. The Spurs are 29th in threes per game, as they connect on 10.1 triples a night, while they are 14th in three-point percentage by shooting 34.8% from beyond the arc. Our second betting advice is to pick over